Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Friends
Mm-hmm.
Podcast, man. Thank you so much for joining us. If it's your first time, thank you for coming through. We appreciate all the listeners, new and old, man.
Yes, sir.
My name is Matt. I'm here with my co-host.
My name is Rod, and this is the Friends Podcast. Make sure you check us out. We're streaming everywhere: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, YouTube. Also, make sure you check out our socials. We're on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram at the Friends Pod.
Yeah, man. Check us out, man. So usually we kind of have conversations. It'll be me and Rod where we kind of chop it up about different types of topics and stuff like that. But today we got a very special guest in the building, man. So go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Duo Moolah from the East Side, Detroit. I'm a rap, hip hop artist, however you want to put it. I'm here to work. Here to put in some work.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, we appreciate you for coming through, and we glad to have some good conversation with you. Get to know about your music, your background, all that kind of shit. But
he a dope rapper too.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
I listened to it. I was like, okay, I see what's going on here. Like this shit is real dope, for real.
Yeah.
Bars for days.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I try. That's what I try to stay in that lane. Metaphors, punchline, bars, some information.
We heard.
So damn, I want to get straight into it, but let's talk about like what's been going on the past week. For everybody, what's been going on with you, Rod?
The past week, just getting the podcast together. Been booking new interviews, new guests. Also, a lot going on with work. Day to day, getting shit done. What else? What else I've been up to? I'm trying to set up a vacation for the summer. That's what I'm going out the country somewhere. I'm thinking Italy, but not sure.
Oh, you're not gonna go to Africa?
Africa?
Yeah.
Why want to go there?
Oh, come on! Don't start that shit. Don't start that shit. You don't want to go back to the motherland?
Cause they black? That's why I gotta be there?
Yeah.
Man, I gotta see everywhere. I'm gonna get there eventually. Shout out to them though.
That's real. Yeah, what's been going on with you this week? These past 7 days, Duo Moolah.
This past 7 days, man, I've just been working still. I've been doing interviews. I did an interview that just dropped yesterday. I actually just shot a video, like, what was that, Monday, and released it. I actually released it like 2 days later. So, it's called The Others, by the way, and that's on the mixtape. That's a song off the mixtape. So really, bro, I just been focused and working, bro, trying to promote, trying to get bigger, trying to network, reach the right people,
I saw that video, The Others.
Oh yeah.
That was right in downtown Detroit.
Yeah, shot that right downtown Detroit. Yep.
Yeah. Definitely. Did you do the shooting yourself or you had somebody do it for you?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that, so I can plug him. That's my guy, Boat. It's my homeboy, man. We locked in. So if y'all really want, if anybody around Detroit area, y'all can tap in with bro. He really working hard. He really just started off with the camera, picked up the camera for real. But he nice. He nice.
He got some good shots in there for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So, like, where did it all start with the videos and trying to find someone? Did you just start making videos last year, or was it like some years before?
I've been doing music for a while, and my first actual video I probably shot it maybe 5 years ago, maybe 4 years ago. I want to say 2018 or 2019. Yeah, I'll say one of those years. But yeah, my first video that I shot, from now into then, it's a big difference. Even if you looked at it now, it's a big difference.
Did you have the vision for the videos, or like who comes up with the vision for the videos? Do you let him kind of work?
Some of them.
Y'all work together?
Some of them, because I didn't work with different videographers up to this point. Like I didn't work with maybe like 5-6 different videographers until now. Like I'm working with just one solid one, but different. Some of them might come with ideas. Some of them might not have no ideas and just tell you to find a location. Let's do this. But for the most part, I pitch in. I pitch in with
what
the
you
ideas.
prefer?
What I prefer? I prefer
what kind of style you want? Like Okay.
What you mean? Like what you were saying?
Like what do you prefer in terms of, do you go up to someone and be like, yo, I kind of got a vision, but I want to pick your brain and see how we can come together with something great? Or is it something like you just go in and be like, I know exactly what I want? Like, you go here, this girl here,
Yeah.
like, this is what we doing. Or you be like, we just go up to him and be like, dog, like, I got this song and I'm trying to make something special. I know you already in your shit, like how I think of Lemonade or
Yeah.
whatever, like who make videos. They probably just go to him and be like, yo, make
What you do? What you
whatever
do?
you do. Yeah. So I'm trying to see, like, what do you kind of prefer, like, in your
Man,
setting?
I do either. I'm gonna be honest with you. Either is cool because sometimes I don't have an idea. Like sometimes I might not even have the vision beyond the song. Sometimes I might not have that vision. So sometimes I might need somebody to like you listen to this a few times and tell me what you can see. Because I ain't gonna always have ideas, but I do have ideas and I do like use them. And we come up collaborations for the most part. I collab for the most part.
Super dope, man. Let's go ahead and take it all the way back, man. I'm curious to kind of learn about because you was talking about you from the east side of Detroit. You was born and raised.
Born and raised, yep.
Okay. So like kind of talk about like back in the day, growing up, in Detroit, like what was it like, your childhood and kind of like what was going on for you? Like, did you have the music bug back then?
Yeah, definitely. My childhood, I had a good childhood in my eyes. And I think the music was always there. I think the music was always there because I even hear stories from like my uncles, my pops, even from me being at a young age, they would tell me, I remember you being 2, 3 years old, you used to be in the car with me and you used to bob your head, you used to love music. And then
Yeah.
even at an early age, I started writing music. So like around
Who
like
was y'all bobbing to?
I can remember one DJ Quick, like guys like Quick. My pops used to listen to like
California.
a lot of my
Right?
pops used to listen to a lot of California, like rappers for real, for real. California was popping back then. So when I'm that age, yeah, I
That's
can't
like
remember
gangster
all
rap.
of them. Yeah, yep,
Your
definitely.
pops
Like,
is the gangster rap for real?
yeah, he was into the gangster rap for sure at a young age. So yeah, and then as far as like, what was you saying, bro?
Damn, I didn't forget what I. Oh yeah, I was just we was talking about like your upbringing and kind of like how it was like in the music bud that you got. You said that you had started writing
Oh yeah,
at
yeah,
some point.
definitely. Yeah, and I started writing probably at an early age. So like around 8, 9 years old, I can remember like writing my first rap. Falling in love with rap, writing my first rap. Then by the time it was guys like Lil Wayne at a young age, and he was doing it, I was inspired. And then when the Bow Wow era came, I was inspired too. So all type of different inspiration. So I was writing it. Early age, it was around. I was definitely around.
So when you was writing, was it like did you kind of put it to a beat or was it more like a poetry type thing like back then when you was writing?
Back then, I honestly can't remember, but I believe it was acapella. I believe just writing like line for line, just thinking I'm coming up with a bar or punchline. That's all. It wasn't nothing major. I don't think I was like putting it on a beat yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's kind of talk about that though. Like when you actually got to the point where it was like, all right, it's time to take this shit a little bit more serious, put it to a beat, and kind of like do it like that. So like, when did that come in for you?
For me, like I always see that's like I always been around it, and then like I was in a group growing up, like maybe around I was probably 13, 14, 15, around that age with my big brother, my homeboy Mo Green, rest in peace to him. Like my guy Pizzle, like different people from my neighborhood. We was all in a group called Hoodie Mafia. So
Okay.
we kind of just I was following their wave. Like they go to the studio, I'm so young, I ain't booking a session or nothing like that yet. So I'm going
Like,
when
how
they
old
go.
were you?
I'm probably like 13, 14, like that
This was
age. So
this was before Doughboys.
Doughboy, yeah, actually it was. It was,
Damn,
yeah,
that's
it
crazy.
was,
So
it
y'all was the
was.
first group for real. Like it's
Yeah,
crazy.
we like possibly was like we got a bunch of old songs and music. Like somebody still got like I probably got a few of them, but somebody still got them. It's still around. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like we was kind of like we actually was. We was around for
Damn.
a minute.
What that sound like? What that music sound like?
Man, like if I listen to it now, like it was crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was different. It definitely was a different wave. But I think the beat selection probably is so outdated. Like, that's probably what it is. Like, at that period of time, because I can remember '03, '04, '05. Like, I was born in 1990 exactly. So like '03, '04, '05, around that era when I'm in the group, the beat selection probably wasn't as far as like as it is now.
Nah, yeah.
So
Who was popping back then? Like Nelly, like
man,
Wayne, early
yeah,
Wayne,
50
probably
Cent,
like 50, yeah.
Ti,
Hmm.
different guys like that.
Or even in the city, I can't remember when Blade
In the
Icewood died,
in the
but
city, yeah, Blade was out. It was
yeah,
Blade, Street Lords, Lodge
yeah.
Boys. You had guys. See, it was groups in the city before then because it was guys like Lodge Boys. Made West, Hell of them, Made West.
Okay, okay.
Um, it was a lot of different groups. It was a bunch of groups. The Street Lords was Cheddar Boys. It was a lot of different groups, but I think that's kind of where we kind of came from. Like we kind of come from that little type of we come from groups, but everybody now kind of doing it individually. Even people that came from groups that's doing it now.
Yeah, because even Team Eastside, they kind of split off and did their own little like separate thing too. So that's dope.
Yeah.
So kind of talk about like what was your influences back then? I know you mentioned Wayne. I don't know about Bow Wow because y'all was probably around the same age at that time. But like,
No, see, he like 4 years older than me. To be
oh,
exact,
for real?
he like 4 or 5 years older than me. So
Damn, that nigga old. I didn't know that.
yeah, like
That's crazy.
I think I'm 30, I'm 32, so he probably like 36, 37. Yep, he probably
That's
around that
crazy.
age. Yep, definitely. So I think he got me by some years. So me looking up, I'm young at that time when he popping. Lil Bow Wow, he was popping. I mean, I ain't gonna say like he a big inspiration to my music, but he inspired for sure. As a kid, like definitely.
Yeah. So where do you get your beats from?
My beats come from production come from. I ain't gonna lie, I get production from guys like Von Jose. He produced through the city. His name Jose the Plug. That's one of my guys. Bang that shit. Jimmy. That's one of my guys. I get beats from him. And I might even find a beat on YouTube. If it's nice, then I hit somebody up. I email. We go back and forth and do some business about it. Like if it's really worth it. Like yeah, I do beat. I get it. If it's nice, I'm getting a beat off YouTube.
You make beat yourself?
No, man, I wish I could. I ain't gonna lie. That's one of the things I wish I could do. I wish I could produce.
You really could though. I mean, if you got that creative, if you a creative enough to come up with the bars you come up with, I think you could put some melodies down.
Yeah.
And also, I feel like you know what you're looking for when it comes to beats. Like you know what
Mm-hmm.
kind of melodies and 808s. But kind of speak about that though. Like what kind of need to speak to you when you hear a beat for it to be like, all right, like this some shit that I really want to snap on.
Uh, I don't know, cause it varies. It could be something that's up tempo, or it could just be a melody sometimes. Like, and I'm a guy that loves like smooth sample beats. I do love that type of style. I love that
I noticed
vibe.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that vibe. But I like to do kind of like my beat selection be kind of like a little different. It be a little different. They differentiate from different styles that I do. Cause I might rap bars or I might just rap some soulful or so it kind of varies.
When you come up with your raps and everything, what do you do first? Do you go straight to the chorus, or do you have your verse already in mind, or how do you go about that process?
That process that also varies because I could sometimes I hear a beat and I know like, oh yeah, this beat, you can hear the hook. You can kind of almost hear the hook as soon as you hear the beat. And then some songs
Hmm.
it's just like, man, I just get it and I hear it and I'm writing first. I can go straight to the bars and then maybe sometimes I'll be like, this deserve a hook. Or sometimes the song just don't. To me, I ain't finna give it no hook. So sometimes I'm about to just write straight through it. So that kind of varies as well.
And we was kind of talking about like making beats. You said you don't really have too much experience with that, but what about like engineering yourself and like kind of recording yourself, mixing and all that stuff? Like, do you do any of that type of stuff?
Oh yeah, y'all. I just kind of got into it maybe 2 years, year and a half ago. I kind of started engineering myself, but I still go record with other people. But I just started getting it. Like I got my whole setup. Like I record right here sometimes. So and then sometimes I record the song right here. And if it don't sound as good to me, somebody else can mix it. Somebody else could master it down for me or whatever. But I kind of just I just started that, and I'm pretty good with it. I ain't top tier, but I think I'm pretty good with it.
Yeah, I mean, and I feel like like just to be able to do shit on your own, like all you really need is that file, like of your voice and the beat, and just send it to somebody, like you said, get it mixed, and like that's it.
Yeah,
You know what I
definitely,
mean?
definitely.
And then so like when it comes to like actually going to the studio and recording, like what is that like? Like what's the vibe have to be? Do it have to be, smoke, drink in the air with the, what I'm saying, the ladies in the building? Like,
No, honestly, long as it's some weed, like if it's some weed, that's cool. But and long as it's some weed, some beats, and the engineer, I'll be good. I ain't gonna lie. Like I don't really need too much because the vibe. Sometimes you need that vibe. Sometimes you want that energy. Sometimes you do. But I can go in there like because I pre-write too. I still write my music, so
like
I
pen and
go in
paper?
there. Yeah, pen and paper, not pen and paper. Actually, notebook. I use the notebook on the phone now.
Okay,
But
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
You be
still
all
go ahead. What you saying?
oh my bad. Y'all saying you be all prepared when you go to the studio? Do you have like the beat,
I do.
everything in
I do.
mind,
Like for
or
the
do
most part,
you
I
just get
do.
there?
I do. For the most part, I got the beat and all of that before I go record it. Sometimes I might even go with a song that I recorded myself, like and record with an engineer, like if it makes sense. But I I will go in there. I will go in there fresh, no beats, just pull up some files, tell the producer play some beats, and then we start from there. I will do that.
And I kind of speak on, so you kind of said like sometimes you need to have a vibe there, and sometimes just get you a little blunt, you know what I'm saying, a little joint or whatever you smoke. So like, what do you feel like you make better music just by yourself? Like, where do you feel like the best art come from? Like, which environment?
So sometimes it's heartbreak for some people. Sometimes it's like someone goes through something real deep
Yeah,
with they homeboy or something. It
I
might be your
think
family. Like, where do you draw from?
I think I draw from just life itself. So it's like that's always going on. It's always something. It's always a problem, a family problem. It's always issues. There's always something going on around you in some streets. It's always something going around on you at home. It's always something going around. It's always something going on around. So I could just draw from that, from life. Like it don't have to be like a particular event. So if the beat, once I play the beat, I can kind of like draw what I want to story tell or tell a story or lines, some lines I want to rap. And sometimes it's just I just know I'm about to talk shit on this song. I'm about to rap my ass off. So it's just bars. Like sometimes it's just that.
Okay, okay, I definitely feel that. Now let's kind of take it to your music specifically. I want to highlight, Diamond Out the Mud EP, which is, released in December of 2022. So kind of talk about that process. Was it like something quick? Because I know you mentioned that you did that video for the others and like dropped it a couple days later. But
Yeah.
so what was the process for this Diamond Out the Mud EP? Was it quick? Was it a long process for you?
It was probably I would say it probably was like over maybe a to do the actual project. I probably did the project in maybe a month's time, but it probably didn't. It probably I probably sat on it probably maybe for 5 months, before I actually dropped it, because just going over it, not figuring out what I want to do, what's the next plan, and then I kind of had some other music out that I was still trying to gain traction off of, and I'm still promoing from my last mixtape and other videos that I was doing. So it was like just trying to build off that. I kind of set on it. Like I had some of the songs. I probably had a song for 5 6 months before I even dropped it. That was on that project. So, and then some of them was fresh. Then some of them was fresh. Like the others probably like was one of the songs I recorded and then went and re-recorded it with my guy like later on. So yeah.
Mm. And then what made you drop that video so fast too for the others? Like you said, you turned it around so quick. Like were you just eager to get it out there? You think it was the right timing?
It wasn't even that. It was really just I think it was right timing because I think I gave from my first video, I dropped it on the first. I dropped the mixtape on the 24th of December. Then I dropped the first video January 1st. I felt like just a month's time, me trying to get that off people to pay attention to it because I'm still gonna promote that one as well. But it's like just to, I want to show people, I'm still working. I'm still working and I'm still pushing and I'm still buzzing. So I put that one out. I felt like it was a good enough time span, a month's time span to drop it. I dropped it on February 1st.
Yeah, consistency is key though, and I see you definitely got that for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's kind of talk about even continuing to talk about diamond out the mud, like talk about the team around you and like how is it just you that's choosing the songs that you want to go on the project? Like how does that process work for you?
For the most part, I choose. I really with that particular thing, I choose because I don't really have like I go back and forth with the guys that that I work with, like my guy Ill Will, my guy Green, my brother, different guys like that. Like they hear the music before I drop it. I let them hear it, and then like I will drop it myself. Like if they get a good response, for the most part they tell me, yeah, this good, this nice or whatever, and then I just put it in a project and put it all together.
When you
Okay.
listen to music, who do you listen to? Because when I listen to your style, it seemed a little original. I ain't really heard no one like you.
Oh, I appreciate that. I try to
At
do
least from Detroit area. That's what I'm
yeah,
gonna say.
I try to do my own thing, and then but I listen to the guys that I do listen to. I probably listen to Meek the most, Meek Mill, Nipsey. I listen to guys like Rick Ross, Tip. The old Wayne for sure. That was like
Classic shit.
yeah, I always bring them up, but old Wayne, like guys like Jada, like I ain't gonna lie, I listen to like a lot of the older guys, and then like some of the younger guys, I do. Like I don't think I think I can listen to the music and not really like try to make it or be inspired, inspired to try to make it. So I listen to a lot of the young guys. I listen to the Lil Durks, the
It's a lot of
NBA young
legends
boys.
there.
Yeah, yeah, because that's who I kind of grew up on listening to. Like that they era is the 50 Cents and all of them. They was hard at the time, so Fab. I grew up on them guys, so I would say I was used to barring up. Like I'm used to like spitting bars, and that's the era I come from. So
It's kind of crazy. You mentioned 50 Cent. Like I always be thinking about really the time that he had really was like 3 or 4 years. Like it was really kind of crazy because Get Rich or Die Trying came out in like '03, and then his next shit was like '05 or some shit like that. I don't know, that's crazy, but like kind of speak to like what do you feel like is the key to like longevity to be here? Like 'cause we still listen, I still love the locks. I
yeah,
still love, I still
yeah,
might listen to an old fabulous tape, like you said.
for
Like
sure.
what you feel like is the key to longevity in the rap game?
Just I think staying consistent with good music, and I think good music because I think I ain't. It's a thing about good music just lasts. Good music lasts. Like you can go back and listen to Blueprint and be like, oh yeah, this was hard. So I think the good music, the substance within the music, because you can have a hit, like I don't really want to even reference nobody, but you can have a one hit and that song could be a hit for that time period, but it'd be over with because don't nobody really want to listen to it as much. It might come up here and there, but you can go back and listen to a whole album every year. Like I'm about to go back and listen to Black Album. I'm gonna go back and listen to Carter One, Carter Two, like certain albums. Like I think it's just a good music. I think that lasts a long time. And if you get you a few of them off, or three or four good albums or something like that, then I think you kind of like solidify yourself in the game at that point.
You know what I feel like be fucking that up though? Sometimes it's like sometimes the beats be outdated. Like you
Yeah,
said, Blueprint might be like it's not really too outdated. Like that was just Blaze, Kanye, early Kanye. But like sometimes the beats be outdated though,
for sure, for
and it
sure.
kind of
That's
sound
that's
like
true.
that time.
That's true. That
I
time
mean, they be
period.
sampling all the old beats these days anyway.
True, that's true. But it'd be the
So people
drums
love
too
the
though.
old sounds.
It's the updated drum kits and all of that they use. And so yeah,
I was gonna say like I actually was reading something or reading something the other day about like the sampling that's used these days, and it seemed like a lot of people since the producers probably was born in '95, born in 2000, they was listening to Freak a Leak by P.D. Pablo. They was
yeah,
listening to 21 Question 50 Cent. So like a lot of the samples is coming from the 2000s era, but it seemed like the stuff that you kind of pick like when I've heard samples in your songs is like back from like the 80s and 90s.
yeah, man. I'm into all of that too. Like I kind of I grew up I had my older brother. Like I said, he 8 years older than me. I got my oldest brother. He 8 years older than me. I got other brothers too in between, but my oldest brother 8 years older than me, and I kind of like followed up behind the music he was listening to and all of that. And then just my mom, she listened to a lot of old school like the Mary J's and the Marvin Gaye's and Anita Baker's and all that. So that was in the house too. I can never deny that. That was in the house on them Sundays and Saturdays when cleanup time and all of that. You listening to Anita Baker, Mary J, and that type of vibe. So like I'm inspired by that too. And them beats was hard. Like they got some hard samples, some hard beats. That's where some of the hardest samples come from.
Nah, I totally agree. And so like kind of talk about that. Like even when we talk about Detroit artists, like was it any of them that you feel like I don't know. I kind of want to just put it out there, like, but who you think is like the most legendary like artist from Detroit? Like,
The most
I think,
legendary artist from
yeah,
Detroit.
I think about that sometimes. I'm like, I don't know, because there's so many eras. Like we got Motown, and we got like 80s,
Yeah, like
90s.
that's a tough question. Like it's a lot of people from Detroit that as far as this artist. Like if you ask me like a rapper or an era, I could definitely give you like, oh yeah, from different eras, it was this person, or it was, either Eminem or Blade or something like that. But man, it's so many. It's a lot of greats came from out of here. Like it is. If you run down the
Eminem,
list,
where you rank him?
Eminem top. Eminem top. He big dog. I gotta give him his credit. He did a lot. I never sleep on him. I loved Eminem growing up. Marshall Mathers
What you
LP
think
and
he do?
what you mean?
What you think he did for like hip hop?
I think he did a lot. I think he crossed barriers. I think he helped cross barriers where I don't think even as a black artist, some black artists we just wasn't gonna touch certain groups of people. We wasn't. So I feel like when he came in, it made it cool for some of them to like rap. Like it made it cool for them. Like they like this one of us. Like so like I like rap and that opened up them
You
barriers.
think they think that's how people felt like from Detroit? They feel like Eminem is one of us.
From his area, yeah, for sure. Like me personally, I never met him. I don't know him, but I'm pretty sure Eminem wasn't. He was outside. He was in them I guess underground battles and all of that. He was outside, so it was like it was an era of that, and he was connected. The bazaars. You can go listen to all of them stories, proof, and all of that. Them guys was really in the circuits. They was outside. It wasn't like he wasn't doing nothing. And then I heard he went to like Osborne at a point in time, which that's a school right in the middle of Detroit, like on 7 Mile and like smack dead in the
Hmm.
hood. So it's like certain stories, like he wasn't just no guy that was just like, oh, this is just a white boy that just blew up and he claimed Detroit. No, like I hear stories where I know older people that was like, yeah, I knew Eminem or I went to school with him and like he was a good rapper back then. He battle rapped and all that. So I give him his credit. Salute him.
And I feel that. So he basically stamped there. I mean, it seemed like he stamped, but I feel like a
Yeah,
lot
I think
of
he pretty sure snapped. I mean, you gonna have
Yeah,
50-50 when you ask that question from people in Detroit. It
yeah,
might
yeah.
be 50-50 because you got some people that's just like, no, he ain't outside. Like, and I don't feel like as him being who he is, that man worked for all them millions. Like, I wouldn't be outside at this time. Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
probably reach back and be giving my hand out. But as far as just like being in people's face all the time, like I don't see that happening. You know?
I'll just like always be wondering from people from Detroit, do they really respect Eminem, and who
Yeah.
do they actually view as the goats? Because a lot of time when you ask people from Detroit, it's a lot of underground people that ain't necessarily blew up. Who are their goats?
No, it's that's a fact. Blade Icewood a goat. Like Blade Icewood, he didn't get to just do in the game. Like he ain't blow up and get no deal or nothing like that. But yes, it's a fact. He's a staple in Detroit. Like he's a staple in Detroit, and like he get a lot of respect, a lot of love. And then it's a lot of what these sounds in this era, what these people talking about, it come from him. It come from that era and him, the Cheddar Boys, Street Lord Wine, and them guys. Like it come from that. So he definitely like it's guys like that that's definitely legendary and get they goats. They in their own right. Detroit Eminem is like different lanes. Like he a goat in his own right. That man went on to sell millions of records. Of course, the elephant in the room. He a white boy, so
Hmm.
you know,
Blonde hair.
blind hair.
Blue eyes.
Yeah. So people like look at him like a little different because of who he is. But man, I feel like he did a lot, and he took Detroit around the world with yelling it, saying Detroit this, Detroit that, and people. That was a lane. He created his own lane. Did what he did.
All right. So when you're going to Detroit area, and I'm guessing is that where you particularly do your shows?
Sometimes, yeah, for the most part, might do a show right outskirts, but yeah.
Like when you're down in Detroit, Where are you looking to go and perform at? Like, what's your crowd or your audience? Who are you trying to pick up?
It's I'm trying to pick me who I'm trying to pick up. Like that's a different question. Who I'm trying to pick up, I'm trying to gain like people that's inspired to and motivated like to do stuff, do more in life. Like people that want to, create businesses and people that want to take care of their kids and create wealth. Some people that want to take, be fathers, like black men. That's who my audience is. People that just want to support, people that grind, people that hustle. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to bring all of those people in and like people that got some knowledge of like not just being one mind. You can't be stuck on this one mind. Like people that can do different things other than just like, all right, I can be a street guy. I'm thinking this street all the way one time. Like, nah, it's more to life than that. You can do a lot more in life than just be this way. You can go be, maybe you had that was a part of your life, but you can go be way bigger than that. So I kind of reach back. That's who I'm kind of speaking to. I'm speaking to an audience like anybody that feel like rap is what they love. I love to rap, so I'm gonna put the rap. Even if me talking information or whatever I do, I try to put it in a rap form. I try to rap my ass off. I try to make sure it makes sense.
You know, it's funny that you said that because when I was listening to your music, it reminded me of some like count up music, like some real. I ain't gonna say trap music because you weren't necessarily talking about trapping, but like it just sounded like motivational almost. Like is that and it sounded like that's kind of intentional for you to like kind of speak that type of message. But like, what kind of messages would you say to the people that like might be coming up and trying to like do what you do and trying to rap and stuff like that? Like, what would you say to them folks?
Uh, Man, stay the course. I tell them to stay the course because it's gonna be a lot of ups and downs. Like even me, what I'm going through at times, you gonna have some of the worst days, and you gonna have days where you feel like, man, this shit ain't gonna ever work or whatever. Because it like I ain't don't say it ain't worked for me yet. I ain't got there, but I know that I'm gonna stay the course. I'm gonna work my ass off. Like I told myself that I'm gonna be I'm gonna be more present. I'm gonna be outside. I'm gonna be talking to people. I'm networking. Whatever I gotta do, to get to where I gotta get. Like I'm in that mode right now, and I kind of found my lane. So that's what I'm sticking to, and they should do it too. If I'm telling the people to do it.
Yeah, I got this question just in general, not necessarily about you, it's to Matt, whatever, in the audience. You were discussing about street dudes and how they seem only kind of one track minded. Is that the right way I should portray it?
I won't say all of them, but it's some guys that's just stuck in that mind. Like it's really some guys that never left the east side of Detroit. Like, and it's a way bigger world. So it's some guys that's just stuck, like, the east side of Detroit. Yes, for sure.
So I got this thing here. I'm trying to like decipher. You think it's like a sense of people feeling like they got to be down when you grow up in the hood or wherever you from? People typically rep their street or their neighborhood. It's a sense of unity or community. Like, you think it's just a sense of like someone got to be down, like they feel like they got to be down with that particular.
I think some people. I don't want to say all of them, but some of them people that's in that lane. But for some people, it's maybe more so like really like grew up in it. Like this is it. Like I know it's some people that's like, man, I literally I didn't have friends, man, where they like literally like I'm happy with what I got and I'm thriving in my life, but it's really people that was struggling like right around the corner from me and like these my homeboys, we kids, so we not paying attention to it. But now that I look back, now I'm like, yeah, they, it was really fucked up for their situation, and they family was like this, and they was going through it, like, you know what I'm saying, like, so I know some people just caught up in it, man, and it's just like it's a mentality you get stuck in. If this is what you see every day, like every single day, it's guns left around in your house. You 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, they just guns laying around. Is the like when eventually when you get 12, 13, I mean, this all you seen, like you kind of gonna reenact that stuff, so sometimes it's not everybody that's just like, oh, I want to be a follower, I want to go run with the gang, or I'm repping my block. But sometimes it's like you ain't got no choice because it's like your parents probably ain't took you off the east side. So like you indoctrinated to these streets. Like you kind of stuck. You focused on what everybody else around you is telling you. So I don't know. It goes both ways with that.
And with the community, was there a community at the time? Did people typically help each other out in the Detroit neighborhoods? Like, if someone needed something like food or eggs or they was missing some shit, could you go to your neighbor and be like, "Bro, like,
Growing
I'm
up,
down bad." Like, yeah, like you and your family.
oh
Like,
yeah,
was there a
yeah,
community
yeah.
at
Like
all?
as a young kid, I can remember it being a nice community. Like yes, it was a lot of wild shit probably going on, but as a kid, man, I remember having I could be on my block, like literally. I'm all down the street. I'm at everybody's house. I'm riding a bike all through my neighborhood. I can go speak to these people. I can go be at this people's house, like, and I'm good. Like I was good. Like if I'm past dinner and I'm spending the night at their house, and I call my mama, I'm eating dinner at their house. I'm good. Like I could remember having families that I could go to in my neighborhood. Like we always close. But nowadays it's no community. Like these days, I don't think it's like it used to be. I think it's like more so everybody for them damn selves. Like it's kind of like if you on this block, it might only be 3-4 houses on Detroit on certain Detroit blocks. Like it ain't really like community how it used to be. You got some neighborhoods that still like that. You got some neighborhoods that still thriving like that. But yeah,
Damn. So when did that shit change?
you know what? Like it's kind of tough because it just was over time. Now it just seemed like it just was over time because it's coming back. Now it's like it's a reverse. Now it's like Detroit. You go look at our downtown coming on down further into the city. Like they building. Like they not playing. But at that time, I think it was like maybe through I can remember it changing. Maybe like mid 2000s, because me all through my middle school eras and stuff like that. Like man, I used to be. I ride the block. I ride the bike 3 miles from the house, like, and I'm good. Like, we used to be kind of like good because I got friends over here, people over here. Somebody see me, and then you ain't got no cell phone, so I got a call when I get there. So I used to be good, like, but I think like later on in life, maybe a little later on in life, I think it started kind of getting a little rougher and rougher. I can't really tell you what year or
Can't
what.
pinpoint an age.
Yeah, I can't
If that
really.
happened, I feel.
Let me ask you something too, because I feel like every time I talk to somebody from the city, not from downtown and not from like midtown or nothing, like I always like to ask them like, how do you feel about the revitalization of Detroit, which like you said is kind of focused in downtown and midtown and those areas. I mean, we got what is it like 7 in Livernois, like that area looked pretty good. It's always been pretty decent.
Yeah, that look nice. It do.
Yeah, it's always been pretty decent over in that area. But like, how do you feel about the revitalization? And do you feel like it's actually touching the neighborhoods on the east side, on the west side that need love?
Man, I think it's two ways I think about it. I think it's great that they doing that for downtown. I mean, because it should open up more opportunities for everybody. People that's into construction, people that's working in these new buildings they building, these new jobs. It's gonna bring more opportunity. And then I do feel like, man, they should hit these neighborhoods one by one and really do that. And they do it to some, like they come through and do it for a minute, but then it's like the people also we got also as a people, we got to take care of this shit. Like when they come through here and they get to doing it, like we can't let them fix it up and then 3 years later we tearing it up or so we also as a community, we as a people, we need to also put our resources together and buy this shit up and take care of it because once I believe when people know it's theirs, they take care of it a little bit better. But I think we also need to do that. But I also think, I mean, what they doing is a good job.
That's what I've. That's I'm gonna interject here. No, I completely agree with you. Like, I feel like black people need to take better care of their community.
Mm-hmm.
And when I think of hoods and this conversation of reparations, because we just had it about a couple episodes ago, Matt, and we asked this question about, all right, there's this random number out there of like $200,000 that's given to every black person or something like that for reparation if it was given. If it was given, this money was given to all these people, all these black people, everyone. what would that actually do for the community? Would you think like black people will invest back into it? Do you think black people will come together and make a community and invest in the future? Like, what exactly does that look like?
Yeah, you gonna have. I think you gonna have all of it. I don't like the because there's so many of us. I hate to put everybody in one pot. You gonna have some of all of that. You gonna have somebody in the bins and clowning first week. You gonna have front buffs everywhere.
It's gonna be a lot.
You gonna have a lot. It's gonna be Louis Vuitton, Gucci all through the city, man. It's gonna be all of that. But you gonna have a lot of people that's gonna like, cause it's a lot of smart people like and people don't understand like Detroit, it's a hustling city. Like you got a lot of hustlers in the city that like if you come from out of town and come here, you're gonna probably meet somebody that's hustling, like and it's doing something, buying houses, got a lawnmower company, photographer, videographer. Like you gonna meet somebody that's a self entrepreneur. You're gonna meet that. So I think it's gonna be all of that. You're gonna have a lot of wild shit. You're gonna have people buy somebody gonna buy a phantom. You're gonna see phantoms out there. You
Yeah.
definitely gonna see that because we definitely a city that boss up. We definitely a city that
Definitely gonna be some
talk shit and
chargers.
all of that, man. Scat packs, Hellcats,
Man.
that's
Oh
going
my God.
that man, they gonna be bought up. I'm getting
The
I'm getting
gun, the
me
guns too.
personally, I'm gonna be buying Durango and Chrysler stocks. I'm gonna be like, cause I know everything going up.
Damn. That's a
They
good ass
they
idea.
they about to man. They give out $200,000 to these people, man. I'm buying stocks and gold, all of that. This shit about to
Yeah.
be up.
Yeah. I'm about to buy stock in Walmart.
Definitely, man.
That's what's
You
gonna be
smart
up.
man. You smart man.
Nah, but what nigga need to do is buy a Walmart for real. Like
Man,
buy
come together,
Oh, if we all came together, got a Walmart.
man.
man.
And that's the thing. People gonna have to think like that. People gonna have to think,
What we call
man.
it, Black Mart.
Hey, it'll work. Shit, the black market. It'll work. The
Yeah.
black market, whatever you want to do, it'll work. Because if people need to think like that, though, I think people do need to think. Shit, if we all get 200,000, we need to come together and open up. Even if we just take half of our 200,000, like man, I'm gonna take. All right, I ain't gonna use this whole 200, but I got 100,000. Let's all put our 100,000 together. Man, you've been living off this for a long time, so you can live off this 100,000 if you don't live above
Yeah.
your means. So you could be like, man, let's invest. Let's work with this. Let's get 5 people. We got $500,000, and let's invest and let's open up some businesses. Let's really thrive. And then you got 10 years from now, man. You never know what you do when you look up like that, man. But you're gonna have some people that do it. You're gonna have some people that do that.
And definitely the farmers in the city who going down there. And you heard about that little market downtown that's only made by black farmers or something like that?
No, you know what? I ain't hear about that one.
That would be dope though, because I feel like
That'd be hard.
It's like a farmers market.
Farmers market,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm pretty sure it's something like that. They doing it. Like
Yeah.
we got some hustlers throughout the city. They doing it.
It could
Sure.
be bigger though, like the Mart or the Walmart or whatever.
Yeah.
Could be only by black people and like products
Yeah.
and stuff like that. That'll be nice to see.
Man, that'd be too much. That'd be too much right though. Man,
true. Hey,
you got
right.
you got a lot going on, and then it's like, man, it's a lot of barriers we gotta break and cross for us to really thrive in business like that, man. Like it don't be just that easy. Like people might think like, yeah, this might happen like this, or I may be able to do it like this. But sometimes when you get there to that certain spot, it be people at them doors like, no, man, hold on, wait a minute. Y'all coming up too close to what we got going on. Slow down now. Like we'll shut this shit down. You get lawsuits and all type of shit that you never seen and never did. Like, man, people come for you. So like we got a lot of shit that we be up against. But I think that we got a group of people that's out here that don't give a fuck, and we gonna make it. We gonna make it work.
That's the thing. It's like I want to see more black people at a higher scale, like of Walmart, and competing with those designer brands like Gucci or Fendi. I want to see more black bands.
I mean Rihanna.
And the
Rihanna doing
same-
her thing.
Yeah, shout out to Rihanna. She definitely is.
She doing her thing, but she's still underneath an umbrella.
Yeah, she
like-
is. She is. I mean, is it? Let me ask y'all that. Is it something wrong with that connection? Is it a problem? Like if you build a business up, you build up $1 million business. Is it a problem if you go partner with somebody of another background? Do y'all think that's a problem?
That's a good question. I think it's not though. I mean, look at what nigga was mad at Jay-Z for what he did with the Super Bowl shit, where he like, oh, let me partner with them. I'm gonna bring Snoop Dogg and them up there. A nigga was mad at that, but at the same time, I think it matters what you do with what you get from them folks. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So if you get 500 million, how is you gonna invest that back into the community that you come from? But I don't see a problem with it. What about you, Rod? Do you feel like it's some, like how you feel about that?
Me personally, with that, like, I don't mind it because it's a necessary evil that we have to do it just to get to that broader audience. But also, I don't like the. I wish it wasn't like that. I wish we could just do it ourselves. We didn't have to partner with somebody a lot bigger just to reach everyone. Like someone just thought we had good products and a good business, and they just wanted to invest different cultures, white people, whatever, want to invest in other than black people. So it reaches everyone. It's not viewed as just like, oh, this is some black business. Like it's just viewed as a business that you typically go to.
Yeah.
But oftentimes they be having an infrastructure though already. Like if we talking about Rihanna, like what's the group she under, like LVMH or something? Like they already got the infrastructure to get her shit in Target and get Nordstrom or wherever the fuck. So it's like,
No, I
I
don't
guess
blame people who do that shit. Like, get your money.
And then sometimes you gotta deal with certain people that got these connections. You might not have these connections with Target and Walmart and all of that. You might not have that reach. So me connecting with these people or me connecting with a certain group of people might be my network into these, me cracking this barrier. Like, all right, I might get Walmart. I can distribute through Walmart and Target and Myers and all of that. When you might not have that network, so you might be at a smaller scale. And that's why I say it'd be so hard for us to crack through. Like sometimes it's so hard for us to reach that really top tier spot. We damn near be having to connect with certain people, man, because they
It's like,
ain't
who the hell do you ask? Like once you get to that point, it's like who do you ask questions to?
that's the problem. We don't know.
Like
That's why
it's
we got to
like
do that.
we get it's like once you get to that like level, you be like you trying to like you just wondering like, all right, so how do I scale this? Like,
Mhm.
and white people don't be want to get the information unless you give them a piece.
exactly. And see, and that's what I'm saying. Like, and then if you deal with that, and then they like, cause I mean, they are business too. If they got the information, if I'm selling you information, we all hustlers. We all hustlers at the end of the day. Like, let's just be people as not black, white, or nothing. We all hustlers. If I got some shit that you need, and I'm gonna give it to you, and it's business. Not like you my brother or my homeboy or family or nothing. You just business. You coming to me and you need some shit. I gotta get paid off of it. It's business.
Yeah.
Like shit. What I
Yeah,
get? Do
I
I
hear
get
you.
5, 10%? Do I get something with this information? Because I'm about to help you break this through. So let me get my profit. I'm all in this business game, just like as you as well. So it's all business as well too. So it's not always like damn, they trying to muscle him out of a percentage or he trying to get down on him on some money. Like shit, I mean, it's business, man. You
It
gotta
be like that.
understand, like you gotta just create your leverage. You gotta have enough leverage to go in there and walk in there and be like, all right, it's gonna be X, Y, and Z on these terms, and then we can do the business. You know,
Yeah, the leverage, that's important. I think Nipsey used to talk about that all the time.
man,
Like
for sure.
if you ain't got no product to really, what I'm saying, like what make me want to fuck with you? Like what's that gonna do for me? You know what I mean? Like that's a real important thing.
For sure.
I'm glad Nipsey was preaching that shit to people because
That's
having
why
your own product is so important.
facts,
Like,
facts.
I'm glad Master P even did that too. Like, just
Yeah,
certain
all
artists,
of the
like
hustlers
who
that did it, like don't all of the
they
hustlers
try to
that did
tell
it.
him, like, there's so many ways to get money out here. Like, you just gotta figure it out.
Man, it's so many ways to get some money, man. Like, and then once you learn it, and then once you start getting the money, it's like it feel a little easier. But it is like you just gotta learn them ways. Like, and that be the thing coming from where we from. Like, it don't be a lot of outlets. We don't be having that information. But now I think the information more so out there than it ever been. I think the information is there. So like we get into a point where it's like a lot of people doing a lot of different shit. Like I'll be hearing about, different black people and different people in the hood that's into forex and trading, and they doing real estate, they doing drop shipping and all type of shit. Like, cause it's new lanes for us that we never thought this shit existed. We never thought existed.
Man, y'all heard about Big Gretch?
Big Gretch, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. What she do?
Apparently, she about to implement into all the education system in Michigan that they gotta take a financial course to learn about taxes and
That's fire.
some of that
Man,
like
that's why she got her
information that
buffs, man.
Yeah, for real.
eh,
She deserve them,
I
especially
fuck
doing
with
shit
it
like that. Like, man, that's big. Man, you just don't know how big that is coming from Detroit and coming from the hood, like, and not Detroit public schools, man. It's no way in hell. Like Detroit public schools is not. They still teaching the same stuff from I was learning in high school and stuff like that. So it's no way that we haven't already been implemented. Somebody haven't already stepped in and said, man, these kids is getting left behind, man. Like you go to China and you go to these different countries, man. These kids super ahead. They be 5-6 years ahead of our students because we only learning so much. Like they only teaching us the same repetitive shit. If they would start to teach us about taxes and they get to teaching us about real estate classes like at an early
for
age,
sure.
could you imagine the mindset by the time you 14, 15, and 16? Like you're gonna be trying to own a house, you're gonna be already thinking about preparing yourself for financial literacy. Like you like, I'm good. I'm gonna be rich when I get older. I know how to stack this and do that, save this, get this bank account and LLC, man, that's gonna change the whole narrative of the community.
Man,
I think that's
to be
big.
honest, I feel like they in public school can go a lot harder on kids. I feel like kids are smarter than we think, and like, and I feel like at a like high school level, they should already building them up like on the side like of technical skills and try to how to like do shit like along with the educational shit. Like you should be teaching both. Like there's valuable lessons in both in like business and like how to. I feel like they can be doing all that shit, making money and going to school because high school they ain't really got like much to really do. Like high school kids and shit, like they just be
No,
you just go to class, play
especially if you
sports.
ain't into and if you not into sports, it's just regular kids that's not even into
Yeah,
that. So they ain't doing nothing. They don't got a 2 hour practice after school. They going home and chilling,
yeah.
like
Mhm.
Roblox, like
Yeah.
something like that.
Why
Yeah.
not use a school as like a venture what a venture capitalist would do and just use it as like a setting where ideas come out of and more businesses and it's
Man,
like maybe then they can actually finally pay the fucking teachers.
man, like that's what I'm saying. And then you got that's why back to Nipsey when he had like what it was called, like Vector 99 or something like that. He had the program where he had the like the after school program where he was
Mhm.
teaching the kids how to do the digital, I think it was digital currency, and they was teaching them how to do like coding. You know, they was teaching kids how to do coding, and man, that stuff like that, that'll go a long way. That's gonna go a long way because technology ain't doing nothing, getting better and better, and we getting left behind in that race. So we need to really be focused on stuff like that, man, and financial literacy for sure.
Now you talking your shit right now, so I kind of want to wrap it up with this question, because you were kind of talking about, you asked us, is it okay to go ahead and get this partnership with them folks over there? Like, how do we feel about that? But I wanted to ask you, how do you feel about like record deals and record companies? Like, are you totally independent? Are you somebody that's like, oh, I need the major deal to get exposure? Or like, how do you kind of feel about that whole system in the rap game, that the record companies?
At this time, I'm totally independent. Like I don't have no distribution. Like I'm publishing none of that. Like I'm wide open. But eventually, I know that I wouldn't mind neither. I wouldn't mind if it makes sense. I wouldn't mind a deal that makes sense as far as like a publishing deal or a distribution deal or even a label deal or getting a record deal. Like I wouldn't mind if it makes sense. If I know the numbers is right. If I know that I feel good when I leave the room after I sign it, then like I do that. But um I'd rather build it to a point where I kind of got what was you talking about, that leverage. I kind of got that base, that fan base, and the people that rock with me automatically, whether I got a deal or not. So I want to build it up like that. Like I want to build it. I want to take the stairs and build it up slow. Like I want to get to that point and that spot. But I mean, I wouldn't mind like getting a deal at the right time, like when it makes sense, for sure, for sure. Like I wouldn't turn down no couple $1 million. Like, and if this shit look like okay, yeah, I still got my proper percentages and points, and I own my rights and masters and stuff like that, and I can still do what I want to do and do my shows. I don't want to get 360'd, or I don't want to be no artist that don't get paid off my music and then complain in 5-6 years about not getting paid for my music. And just,
Hmm.
I don't want to be that guy. Like, yeah, because to me, it's not just about the fame. To me, it's about the actual business side of it and just rap, the craft. Like, I love rap. Like, I loved it before I knew about the business. So like, I just want to be put the music out and get a good feedback. Like, I want to put the music out, like, and then the label and the business and all of that, that'll come. But
Yeah. So exactly, what do you want out of music?
what do I want out of music? That's a great question. I want a legacy of like inspiration, and then I do want to get a bag. Don't get me wrong. I want to get a bag out of it. I want a nice bag. I want to be able to like tell my family, like, man, I'm still eating off music that I made 10 years ago. I still want to
For
own my
sure.
royalties. I still want to be able to listen to myself 10 years from now and be like, man, I was hard, or I was sweet. Like, man, I did what I was supposed to do with with the talent that I had, because it's a talent and I know it's a gift, so I got to use it. So I want to get a nice core following so that I can inspire a nice generation of people that's like, man, he dope, and I can follow his footsteps when I listen to his music or the moves he makes. So I kind of wanted. That's why I'm moving kind of smart through this and try to make the right moves so that I can really look back and know that I felt good about all the stuff that I did.
That's a great answer, man. That's a great, wise words for sure. But let's go ahead and wrap it up there, man. So we appreciate you for coming through, man.
Yes,
Duo
sir.
Man, for
Moolah.
sure, man. Appreciate y'all for sure.
And
Mm-hmm.
before we wrap it up, so like kind of talk about like what you got coming up. Do you got another EP dropping, albums?
Yeah.
I know you was talking about more videos and stuff like that, but like let's talk about what's on the horizon.
All right, definitely. Yes, I definitely got some more videos coming out. I'm working on a couple projects. I got another project in the bag. I won't release the name yet, but I got another project in a bag, and then I'll be back. I want to come back on y'all and talk to y'all and be promoting it. So I got another. That'll be like maybe
Yeah. The
it'll
Friends
probably be,
Podcast.
yeah, for sure. That'll probably be like in another month or two. So I'm gonna be doing that. I'm gonna drop that one, but I want to kind of finish up this one, shoot these videos, Diamond Out the Mud EP. Everybody go get that. I want to finish that up and just promo this one for a little while and kind of see what I can do, because I think I got some nice songs on there that I'm
Mm-hmm.
gaining a little following for, and like I'm building up. So it's kind of like I'm gonna live with it for a little while, and then I'm right back, because I kind of already got a project ready. It's another EP.
I
So
think
I'm
you should join. What's that Detroit show? Backwoods and something.
a Backwoods and Bonfires.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Crowd
You did that
Freaks.
shit.
I haven't did it myself, but I
I
done
feel like you
been.
should do that shit.
Man, I'ma definitely do it, because I done been in the
Yeah.
circuits. My homeboys done did it. My homeboy Summer, he done did it before. My homeboy Green, they did it before. So I'ma definitely rock with them. The Crowd Freaks. I know who you talking about.
I feel like it's a big crowd, and they'll for sure fuck with the sound you got going on.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm tapping in. This year is my tap in
Yeah.
year, man. I'm
Yeah.
I'm tapping in with everybody. Everybody got something going on. Got some shows booked. Got a following that's doing something. That's rapping. That's features. That's all of that. That's
Yeah.
wide open. I'm with it. I'm popping out this year.
What do niggas do? You can't. I hate that you can't sell CDs no more.
Man, that is
Like,
different. That is
like
different.
you just like
That is
niggas
different. You
used
can't
to really
really.
be there and be like $5, $5, $5. The
Yeah,
niggas look at
yeah.
you
Now
real
you,
crazy.
now you gotta give a nigga a QR code. Like, hey, look, go listen to my music off this card.
Yeah.
Scan this, bruh. Like, for
Yeah,
real, you
man.
gotta give them a
Yeah.
QR code. So it's a
Tip the
different,
cash
it's a
up.
different ball game for sure.
Yeah, most definitely. So Diamond Out the Mud EP is out right now. Duo
Mhm.
Moolah is letting that shit breathe. So go ahead and check that shit out. We're gonna drop all the links in the bottom of the description. But that has been Duo Moolah, and this has been the Friends Podcast. So thank you for listening, and we out.
Yes,
Peace
sir.
and love.
Yeah, yeah.